This video is sponsored by the gaming app Arcade. Every week you can win up to $1,000 by taking part in various beauty pageants. Download today to receive 3,000 cash to join any category of your choice. You can download Arcade from Google Play Store.
Hi kings and queens, and welcome to another session with the Asian Queen. So the last time we were together, I did a very special week dedicated to the Big Brother Nigeria Season 5. And today again, I'm bringing back Big Brother, but in a very different tone because a lot has happened in the past couple of weeks. So, what are we talking about today? Erica, Lakan. Well, we are going to be talking about the two of them, but we're going to be talking about the two of them as individuals. I had analyzed them mostly as not a couple, because they're not a couple, but as a pair that have some sort of relationship between them. Today we're going to be looking at them individually and also try to understand the psychology behind some of their behaviors. Unfortunately, Erica has been disqualified from the Big Brother house. This happened on Sunday. She had previously broken a set of rules in the house and had earned herself 2 strikes. And Sunday, during a meltdown that she had after drinking alcohol, she needs to stop drinking, she damaged Biggie's property by pouring water on Prince's side of the bed. And because of that, she was disqualified. I have spoken about Erica before. The very first time I did a video about the Big Brother house, I made a comparison between her and Nengi. And I said that Erica is not very self-aware and she is not in control of her privilege. I also mentioned that this is not saying that Erica doesn't know she's beautiful. Erica knows very well that she's a beautiful woman. But it is one thing to know that you are beautiful, and it is one thing to actually use the power of that beauty to get on in life. As the show progressed, a lot of information emerged as well about the Big Brother contestants. And I got a little bit of information about Erica's background. So she was raised by a single mother and an absentee father. And even though she describes herself as being a straight person because she has been living alone and taking care of herself since she was 19 years of age, she hasn't yet quite handled that emotional part of herself. She's still very emotional and she's still also a very emotionally expressive person. She reminds us of 2 people we've already spoken about in this channel, Toto DK and Tacha. If you remember very well, Tacha last season was something else. And I don't even think that Erica did as much as she did. But even Tacha too was disqualified from the game after she got into a fight with Mercy, who later emerged as the winner. Even in this case, Erica also got into a fight with Lakan. And Lakan seems to be the person who will be winning the game. Lakan and Mercy have few traits in common. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video. Today, the focus is all on Erica. I personally do not think there's anything wrong with being emotionally expressive. It's just about being strategic about it. I mean, you are allowed to be angry, you are allowed to be sad, you are allowed to be happy. I believe that our emotions are our personal rights and we own them and we can use them in whatever way we please. But at the same time, we have to be very careful because they can become our own undoing. When we express our emotions at the wrong time, or in a circumstance that does not favor us, we take the risk of going from the wounded party to being the offender. Now, even though in this particular case, I fully support Erica in what she did, I believe that she was right to have, said whatever she said to Lakan because it was about time that she did. She was just trying to be nice at the beginning by not telling him straight ahead, Lakan, I am not physically attracted to you. So if she had not poured that water, she will still be in the house right now. And Lakan will have to deal with the fact that this woman that he likes and he's obsessed with doesn't like him and thinks that he is not physically appealing. What kind of situation would that be? I would have loved to see it. We also need to mention that Erica has this likability issue. Like, she wants to be liked by everybody. Let's think of her, mini feud with Watoni. Watoni made it clear that she doesn't like Erica. And I think it has to do with, Erica's relationship with Kid. I mentioned this in the video I did about Kid, that at the beginning, Kid was interested in Watoni. He even told Watoni that he wanted to have a baby girl with her. Then all of a sudden, he was making out with Erica. I believe that Watoni didn't like that and she sort of built up this resentment towards Erica. Yeah, when someone tells you that, or someone shows you that they don't like you, why do you insist on wanting to have a relationship with that person? She also did the same thing with Lakan. After telling Lakan that she was not interested in him in a very polite way, she still wanted to be friends with Lakan. She didn't understand that the choice to be friends or not was solely Lakan's. Lakan had to be the one to decide if he wanted to remain friends with the woman who had just rejected him. But she kept imposing herself on him. And this, in my opinion, was absolutely wrong. Sort of reminds me of Alex Unusual from, the season, I think from the season 3 of Big Brother House. Like, even though Cece made it clear that she didn't like Alex, Alex kept going to Cece, apologizing to Cece, trying to build a relationship with Cece. Cece was not interested. This likability issue is one big issue. If you are so obsessed with being liked by people, you will keep putting yourself in situations where you will be hated by people. The desire to be liked will earn you hatred instead. Now let's talk about something that Erica said during the show. She said something in the line of, "Kid reminds me of my father, and that is why I'm able to understand him." But the problem here is that Erica's father was not present in her life. She grew up with her mother. Her mother was a single parent. So there was not even like a co-parenting going on. So what exactly does she understand about her father? I think here there is a case of daddy issues. Daddy issues is when someone has an unhealthy relationship with their father. It could be that the father was absent, like in Erica's case, or that the father was present but was not really a healthy presence. And in this present state, the child sort of idolized the father, did not critique the father, and ended up, taking the father as a model for the kind of man that she will eventually end up with. But only in this case, Erica doesn't really know her father. The only thing that Kid and Erica's father have in common is that they are both emotionally unavailable. She wants to have a relationship with these men, but these men are not interested in having a relationship with her. So what does she do? She didn't have a relationship with the father. Now she's trying to recreate a relationship with Kidwaya. She believes that if she can have a relationship with Kidwaya, that will become a sort of stand-in for her relationship with her father. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Kid and her father are two separate people. You cannot make them interchangeable. You cannot make them replaceable. Kid will never be her father. And this is something that Erica needs to understand. No man will ever be her father. And she needs to let go of this desire to sort of want to repair whatever relationship she might have had with her father with any man that she comes across in her life. Now let's talk about her relationship with Lakan. Even though I am not a fan of Lakan, I still have to admit that Erica did have some faults in the way that the situation degenerated in her relationship with Lakan. First of all, I've already spoken about the fact that she kept trying to impose her friendship on Lakan. And secondly, she had this typical toxic behavior of people who put you on a hook. Like, they don't want to be with you, but at the same time, they don't want to see you leave. When I spoke about the friend zone, I said that if Lakan, for example, gets attached to another woman, chances are Erica will notice him and will start saying in a way that is sexual. And I said that there is a possibility that she might eventually decide to get with him. But there is a case, although, where the friend zoner is not interested in having a relationship with the friend zoned. They just don't want to see him with someone else. They just want to see him there, always available, always at their beck and call, always there for them when they need, to confide in someone, just like Erica was doing inside the house. Anytime she had issues with Kidwaya, she would go to Lakan to start using Lakan as her emotional cushion. That was totally wrong. Not to mention that she also knew that by doing this, she made Kid jealous. And I think that was not a very smart move. That was not a very good behavior. I think Erica needs friends that are strong-willed and who can set her straight. She doesn't need superficial friendship. She needs a friendship that is connected deeply. Someone who understands her, someone who understands her struggle, where she is coming from, and someone who supports her to get where she needs to be. People keep saying that Erica needs therapy. Everybody needs therapy, okay? They keep talking about Erica, but they are not talking about Lakan or Kidwire or other housemates in the house. Every single one of those people has issues that they need to deal with. We are talking about Erica today because she was one of the most popular housemates. She was like, I would say, yeah, the highlight. At the beginning, I thought Nengi was the highlight. But today, I'm firmly convinced that Erica was the one that was driving the show. The girl's energy was too much. She needs people that can match and help her tame this energy. A poor choice when it comes to your friends also lead to poor choices when it comes to decisions that you make. I see Erica as a kind of person who likes to consult her friends before making decisions. And if she doesn't have friends that are level-headed, she will end up making the same mistakes over and over again. Anyway, I am certain that Erica at the end of the day will be fine. She was, quite popular before she went into the Big Brother house. And I'm very certain that there are many brands that will be willing to work with her. Her fans have even set up a GoFundMe for her. So yeah, she has nothing to worry about. And hopefully she will come out of this experience stronger and wiser than before. And that is all for today, guys. I will see you next time to discuss about Lakan. See you now. Bye-bye.